You ready? Give the customers a different perspective?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Like, she should be charged now.
So Paul, how's your day?
Great.
It's good?
Yeah.
Good? Any tips of the day?
Tips?
Tips?
I got tips. Especially when Brandon and Pat go upstairs.
Edit that out. Alright, so I'll show you guys how to do, how to lube the spring in here. This is a Polini Evolution cover here for Euro Minarelli, and of course it doesn't come with your bushing, it doesn't come with your spring. So what I've done is taken a block of wood here, and that allows you to have this all the way down the case move free. Block of wood here, I've strapped it across with cardboard to keep it kind of from getting damaged, but what you're trying to do is when you're looking at this here, what you've got to do, because naturally it's going to sit like this, you got to take this here and work it all the way back around to this little detent here. It's kind of a pain in the butt to do, and you can really hurt your fingers doing it. So I'll show you kind of my method, and then obviously once you get it in, you've got this new piece going in here. But can't stress enough, wear gloves. Gloves are really going to help you in this process, and then I'll just show you kind of how to get it on. This theory is going to be the same with Honda and Yamaha on different bikes, but this is always a big pain in the butt, and I've struggled with different ways of doing it, but I'll just show you how we do it in here, and maybe it can help you not lose your fingers. All right, got this puppy strapped down. This spring here, as you guys can see, this spring here rests up against this little nub here. The problem is when you work on this and you're moving this piece around, if this slides up and comes off, then you've got to redo it. So what I do, and you can use whatever you have around the house, but put a little washer over it, and then this is just a little rubber vacuum nipple. So you slide this over the top just like so, and that's not gonna mess up the aluminum, it's not gonna stress anything out, it's just to keep it from coming up. The next step obviously is you wanna take all your components, use your fancy Melosi MHR grease here. This doesn't have to be done right now, but since I'm got the grease out, I figure may as well go after it. But basically, you're just gonna grease all the components that are gonna be moving around in here. And your setup may be a little bit different than this. This one's got the bushing that comes in and out, being that it's the Polini system. So gonna go ahead and grease that, and take this guy, spin it on there. So that's nice and greased up as well. You can set this aside. So the first step here, this is how this is gonna sit in the relaxed position. When your kickstarter's on the other side, you're gonna kick it down, it's gonna come up, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna roll like so. So your dry face is here. It's gonna come up like this, spin and come out, and it's gonna turn your engine, and then when it comes back, it's gonna suck it back in. So you're gonna kick it, it's gonna come up like that. The bike's gonna start, and then it's gonna go back down again. What we've gotta do is take this spring here and work it all the way around to this position as well. First thing I like to do, take this off, of course, everything's lubed up and ready to go. Get on my gloves, because I don't want to rip my hands open. Make fun of me if you'd like, but yeah, I fought with these things on my lap before, and workbenches or whatever. But this is really the best way to do it, because in theory it's kind of nice to have two people to do it, but this works out really good as well. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and lift this up, move it around, and I'm going to take my bit driver or whatever. You can use a few different tools, but something that's round and open like this. Go over the top like so, and what you're going to do is you're gonna roll this guy around and just kind of work it back and forth like so. And this is why you wear gloves, because you want to rip your finger off. So you're gonna work this around and see where my thumb is, the one on the left, that guy there. It's gonna drop, push down. So it's gonna push down on the casting like so. So now it's down, and I've got tension here. You can see the spring wants to work its way up. What I like to do is push down as far as you can. And then typically you can pull this thing up, and now it's resting right up against there. Now, if you take tension off this and this comes up, the spring is staying down, it's gonna drop and it's gonna unwind itself. The main problem is this right here is between the casting of the aluminum and the steel. What you need to do is push this further out to get this piece to drop further down into the housing. There's a few different ways of doing that. You can hop right here, just push the spring over. Sometimes, like so, didn't quite do it for me. I'm gonna keep a little bit of tension on there. Nope, okay, see how it moves back and forth. Typically, we can take this guy and just kind of work the spring around. There it goes, just drop back down. Now this is an important part. You guys can see, take the gloves off. You can see right here, this spring is not, so what happens oftentimes is this spring will be in between this aluminum housing and the steel, but it's not. So right now the spring is all the way around, and you've got this piece here resting right up against the stop. This can come off now, but I'm gonna leave it for now. What you wanna do is put your gloves back on. You wanna hold this thing tight, flip it over, and keep pressure on it the whole time. You're gonna hold on this, you're gonna flip it over with keeping pressure on it, and then what you're gonna do is you are going to install this washer. If you don't have this washer, you may as well just give up now. You need to have this washer. This washer and this clip. And yes, we sell them both, we stock them both here. There's an OEM Yamaha parts. This is really common. If your guys' kicker components are coming apart all the time, this thing's coming unwound, 99% of the time, this washer is bad, or this clip is bad. It's opening up, allowing this washer to move, which is causing this steel half moon to come this direction to let that spring unwind. If you have these two components on tightly, on the other side, there's no way for this to come unwound. So let's go ahead and flip this thing over and show you how this goes on the other side. And keep in mind, I've got to keep pressure on this, because if this piece comes out, then that whole spring is going to unwind again.
How's your dad?
Great.
It's good?
Yeah.
Good? Any tips of the day?
Tips?
Tips?
I got tips.
What's the tip of the day?
I got a tip.
Well, I'm asking you
And I
to give the audience a tip of the day. Maybe a tuning tip, or a scooter tip, or a life tip. I just want the tip, Paul. Just give me a tip.
No.
I'm asking for you for the tip of the day.
I have a tip.
Brandon, you got a tip of the day?
Wash your cylinders.
What?
Wash your cylinders.
Clean your cylinders before you install
So
it.
with soap and water?
Like brake cleaner.
Okay. It's a good tip. It's a good tip.
Even out of the
Good
box.
tip.
Straight out of the box.
Yeah.
Lube everything.
Oh, lots of
Don't install things dry. Lube everything before you put it together. All right, straps undone. Again, like I said, keep pressure on this. It doesn't have any pressure to spring out, but if it shifts or moves a little bit, that piece isn't gonna come out, and you're gonna do this all over again. So I keep pressure on this piece, roll it over, admire the awesome cover that Polini makes. Then what you're gonna do, take my right glove off, because I can't really work with that glove on, left glove on still. You're gonna drop this piece like so, down in there, make sure it's good. You should see this right in here. There's gonna be a little tiny groove right there, and that's where the C-clip is gonna go. Take the C-clip like so, get in here, open up just a little bit, don't go too far. Okay, and get close like that, and then what you're gonna do, put this thing down in position. Okay, so now the C-clip is all the way in. Now you can put your cover, or your kicker cover on, and you can test the function of how this thing works. All right, so once you've got your kicker installed on the bike, depending on which one you want to run, chose to go with the NCY on this guy. You've got washer in place, you've got your C-clip, and this guy's bolted on good. Go ahead and roll it over, and you can just test the operation of this, but in theory, that's just how it works. It's nice and free, no binding, no problems at all. And then you're gonna go ahead and take this stuff off here, because it doesn't need to stay there. Make sure it doesn't come off the bike. Then you're gonna take this piece, salt just like so. It's just gonna drop itself right down the side. So as you can see, that's how it's gonna work. But You can just test the operation of everything. Just put your thumb here and just kind of hold it, see how it comes up and drops back down. So this thing should do pretty good. Going to package everything up as well. This cover is really cool because it actually has a bearing in here which is going to support the clutch, which is a really cool part of the Polini. They do not make this for Zuma. This is a Euro Minarelli Malaguti. This is for Aprilia SR50, 1999 SR50. This is going to be for like your liquid-cooled European Minarelli motors. This is going to go on the 100cc on the twin over there. Yeah, I mean, that's how it works, guys. That's how you put this stuff together. We do typically stock all of these things, OEM Yamaha for the most part. But this is really common. If this spring is flying off on you guys and all the stuff is coming apart, your kicker's not working, pull this all back apart, grease everything, replace everything that needs to be replaced, and then most importantly, make sure that C-clip and that washer are in place, and you guys shouldn't have any problems with your kickers. But this is always kind of a pain in the butt for people, so I figured this would be a good video to make. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy bolted up to the 100 and shipped out to Canada. Thanks for watching.